Hey guys, things get dangerous today as we talk about our top 10 favorite weapons. Alright, welcome back to Coffee Break. I'm Chris.
I'm Thomas.
And like we just said, we're going to be counting down our top 10 favorite weapons on our top 10 Friday.
Yeah, our top 10 traditional Friday here.
I think I went first last time, so I think it's your turn to go first. Or did you go first last time?
I went first last time.
You did,
because
okay.
it was the superhero one.
Ah, that's right, okay.
I went first last time. So be my guest. You can start off with this list. And let's clarify, top 10 weapons in pulp culture.
Yeah.
Movies, video games, anything you can think of, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't have anything on my list that's a real weapon, you know.
I did.
You did?
I'll be totally honest, I did have one thing on mine that technically, from legend, was a real thing, but I took it off my list.
I got kind of close because there's one guy I really love, but I decided there's some other weapons I'd rather have if I had the choice.
Mm-hmm.
So these are just weapons that I personally would love to own if they were real.
Well, now that you say that, I kind of look back, and there is one thing on my list that is a real gun that you can buy, but it's famous for being in a movie. What do you think?
Is it like a Tommy gun or something?
No.
Okay. Well, we'll see then.
Well, I have something that I'll put in its place if that's the case.
You're good. It's your list, man. I was just telling you how I came up with my list.
I'll let you.
Okay.
Say.
Well, we'll start right away here. My number 10 is the Iron Man suit.
That's quite the weapon.
I would love to actually own one of those.
Mm-hmm.
I could just, especially the later ones where he didn't need a whole room to put them on. He could just walk right into them and they'd come on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
You ever have those dreams where you're in one and you're flying around?
Yeah, it would be so cool to have that AI with the heads-up display and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to own an Iron Man suit. I'd probably just fly around for hours.
Now, pop quiz here for you. In one of, I believe it was the second movie, they accused it of being a weapon, and he said it's not a weapon. It's a...
I watched the second movie one time.
Nuclear deterrent is what he describes his suit as. A nuclear deterrent.
It's a weapon.
It's a weapon. We all know the purpose of it is for being a weapon. That's what we'd use it for, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
All right. For me, my number 10 is the Buster Sword from Final Fantasy. This is Cloud's sword.
Yeah. I was close to including that one.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of surprised it's not on your list.
My problem is I couldn't actually wield it. Cloud is genetically enhanced. So you have to be really strong to swing that big sword around.
It's classified as a giant broadsword, so yeah, it's heavy. Like, this thing is big, but it's sick. Like, come on. This thing is fantastic. Now, I'll be totally honest, I haven't played many of the Final Fantasy games, but I am very familiar with Final Fantasy VII, and when Zack handed the sword off to him. But I love... Cloud is one of my favorite add-ons to Super Smash Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
I absolutely love Cloud in that. So
it was a good choice.
It was a very good choice. And 10 years ago, if you were to say Cloud made it to Super Smash Bros., you'd never believe it. But he did. So number 10 is the Buster Sword from Final Fantasy VII.
All right. I'm moving right along here. My number 9 is actually a combo of weapons from Ratchet & Clank 1. It's the...
Ratchet & Clank.
Yeah, Ratchet & Clank... They have enough weapons on there to make up a whole list of their own. But I chose the Chickinator with the suck cannon. Right. Okay, so the Chickinator turns your enemies into chickens, which is hilarious by itself. Okay, but then you include the suck cannon. The suck cannon sucks up smaller enemies, and then you can launch them as projectiles. So what I would do is I would turn a bunch of enemies into a chicken, and then I would start sucking them up and launching them at their enemies just to humiliate them.
Continue. Please.
It's
top 10 weapons list. Chicken cannon and what is it?
A Chickinator.
Chickinator and a suck cannon.
Yes. Well, the suck cannon is pretty cool because, again, you can turn smaller.
That was my nickname in high school. The Chickinator suck cannon. Oh my goodness.
Ratchet & Clank, man. Like I said, I wasn't exaggerating when I said their weapons alone can make up my list, but
my list is so boring compared to yours now.
All right, what are you?
Why did I not use the fart gun from Despicable Me or something like that? Number 9 is a Star Trek phaser. I mean, it's not cool now compared to the Chickinator suck cannon. Like I was thinking, you know what's really cool is the set phasers to stun. It's so iconic and it's so famous, and it's always cool to have. And I always thought it'd be cool to have one.
Now, are you talking about like next generation phasers or original phasers?
I'm talking about original phasers from the good old series. So
I like in the first episode where Spock pulls out a phaser cannon. It's funny.
There you go. It's not as cool as the Chickinator suck cannon though, but it is what it is. I don't even want to continue this list after that, but go ahead. What's your number 8?
Daredevil's clubs.
Okay, see, that makes sense. Chickinator thing doesn't. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to get off of that.
Yes, please.
Thank you.
All right, Daredevil's clubs. I like them because I like small sticks as weapons, and I like how he can I think he can combine them to make a staff, and also like nunchucks.
Yeah, they combine into all of those.
It's really cool. And then he when he's Matt Murdock, he just has them as his little walking sticks. It's really cool. I've always liked weapons. It was either that or Nightwing's, Nightwing's clubs. But I think the reason why I went with Daredevils is because they're a little bit more versatile. I know Nightwing's batons are kind of tasers, but
they're basically shock batons.
Yeah, but when you're fighting in close quarters like that, you could get shocked yourself. So.
Not if you're Nightwing. And Batman's your trainer. I mean, come on.
Yeah. So, now my number 8, Daredevil's clubs.
All right. Number 8 for me, this is one of the big daddy of weapons, and that's the Infinity Gauntlet. With all the stones in it. I cannot wait to see what the movies do with the Infinity Gauntlet. But let's be real here. It's literally the most unstoppable weapon in the MCU. And in Marvel Comics.
Unless you're Batman.
Unless Batman, obviously. Yeah, my favorite Marvel character is Batman. You heard it here. No. The Infinity Gauntlet. Obviously willed by Thanos. But also, other people have willed it in the past. But come on, this would be great. To be able to control all these different things, the Reality Stone and the Soul Stone, Time Stone Power, all of that stuff. All in one fist, and just be able to use each one of them or all of them at once. Be pretty cool to have. And, some bling,
Oh, yeah, totally.
Absolutely, for the bling. It's fashionable, too. You wear it to, a Chow concert, or Chow, whatever,
you think it'd match
in New York
my
City.
shoes?
Yeah, it would.
Okay.
Yeah. The gold with the diamond studs? Yeah, it'd match. All right, but that's my number 8.
My number 7 is Wolverine's claws. I've always loved these.
I don't know why that didn't make it into my list, but
they can cut through practically anything. And to put it on somebody with Wolverine with he has a healing factor, it's just such a good idea. He's the ultimate close quarter warrior. Even if I could make external claws, I would probably make them just so I could use them. It'd be fun. I love them because they're like blades, which you can punch with them, and again they can cut through just about anything. So I think they explain themselves. Wolverine's claws, my number 7.
Number 6, number 7 for me. This is the one that'd be questionable. It's the Walther PPK. It's your James Bond's gun. Yeah, absolutely. By Sean Connery, of course. This is the definitive pistol for international assassins and spies. I always loved the look of this gun and how it was, wielded by James Bond. And not, obviously it's not just James Bond, but it's a practical gun in itself. But with the silencer, I remember playing through stuff like Rainbow Six Vegas and Call of Duty and all this stuff. I'd always try and mimic this gun best if I can, just go through maps using it and doing other games stealthily with this Walther PPK. But now that I'm looking at it, I kind of wish I didn't put it on my list. I have a few other things I thought about putting in this place that, would have been a good fit. Originally, Excalibur was in this place. I switched it out. Probably not the best choice, but I still think it's a pretty sweet gun.
It looks great.
It looks great. It's a wonderful gun, and it was made famous by James Bond, and he's obviously a fake character, so I figured, hey, I can put it on this list and be okay.
Right. My number 6 is also a really cool handgun, very iconic. I guarantee you if I showed you the silhouette of it, you'd recognize it right away. It is Han Solo's gun.
Oh, yeah?
I'm not sure if they have a name for it or not, but Han Solo's gun is based off of the... they actually took a prop of the Mauser C96 broom handle that was the handgun of the World War I German soldier. And they modded it to look really cool. And, man, I love the Mauser C96, but Han Solo's gun is just really cool. It's cool that they gave him a specific blaster that he always has on his side.
Oh, yeah.
It fits his personality so well. Such a good choice for Han Solo. Again, I love that gun the first time I saw it, so I knew I had to include it on my list.
There's a really cool video of Adam Savage. You know who that is? Have you seen Mythbusters?
Yeah,
Adam Savage, where he actually made a prop replica of that gun.
There's another video of a guy who took a Mauser C96 and
turned it into I saw that
it
too.
actually shoots real bullets.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
All right, so number 6 for me, good old Mjolnir. Or Mjolnir. Technically Mjolnir. Thor's hammer. This, I have a replica size of this at my house. And this thing is so cool. And man, you can fly with it. You can beat up just about any villain with it. This thing is awesome. And it's like the perfect size. And just be able to wield it like he does. I'll be totally honest. I think I've had more dreams about having this hammer than any other weapon. Like, this hammer was always my favorite. And then be able to summon lightning with it. It's, you know.
Do you think it's going to permanently get broken in Ragnarok?
I know what's going to happen. I have my own theory of what I think is going to happen. And that is that...
Oh, go ahead.
No, I'll go ahead and say it. So, Mjolnir will permanently be broken. The traditional hammer. But in the comics, he has made a brand new hammer that is a two-handed hammer. And it's got like a hook on the back and more of a hammer-like front. And this thing is big. And it's awesome. And a bit of a spoiler alert here for Avengers Infinity War. They've released like, I think, 3 or 4 promo art pictures. And you can see Thor in one of them. And his hammer and the handle is a little bit longer.
Okay.
So, obviously there's a hammer going to be in it. But, I mean, we all knew there would be. But what hammer exactly? Don't know for sure. But that's what I think is going to happen. So, I'm really excited to see that one. And I'm sure that would go higher on my list when it arrives.
My number 5 is another weapon from Ratchet & Clank, and it is the Rhino.
Okay, at least it's got a better name.
Rhino is an acronym for Rip You a New One.
New what?
Well, it's the ultimate gun in the game. In the first game, and I'm talking about the one from the first game because that's the one I'm most familiar with. It's a giant rocket cannon that's about half the size of Ratchet, which is funny because he carries it on one shoulder, no problem. It's huge. And it launches like 16 missiles that kill everything on screen. Most people cannot defeat the final boss without it. It takes 1 million bolts to buy, and that took me forever to get. My friend and I would grind for hours
Holy
to get
smokes.
to it. But I have beaten the game without the Rhino, just to see if I could.
Of course you have.
So,
I really need to see this game. I have not played it, so...
We'll do a Let's Play of it.
That'd be a good one.
We'll do a Let's Play of every Ratchet & Clank game out there because I love the series so much.
That's
but again,
fair.
I just love how, like, you just take one shot, you get 16 missiles-ish. I'm not sure, I've never actually counted them, but you just devastates the screen.
And crashes the game and sets your game console on fire.
Oh, yeah. That's just on Monday.
Right.
So, and then every game gets a new iteration of it. Ratchet & Clank, and to be honest with you guys, I've only played Ratchet & Clank 1, 2, 3, and then the newest one.
Yeah,
so
only.
I need to play the ones on the PS3 that came out, but the second one was cool because it was like a machine gun that launched missiles. The third one, I remember it kind of being a letdown for me. Mm-hmm. But, so Ratchet & Clank 1's Rhino would be my number 5.
I'm excited for my number 5, because you've already said it.
Really?
Except I have the actual name for it.
Okay.
That's Han Solo's gun.
Alright.
The DL-44.
Alright.
It has an actual name, and that's it. The DL-44.
I'm predicting at least one more crossover, by the way. But
Me too. I think I know what it is. But yeah, the DL-44. And I'll be totally honest, I learned that from playing Battlefront, the new one on the Xbox One.
Of course.
The DL-44 is like the last... Before all the DLC and stuff with the game, that was like the last gun you could get. And it's the most powerful gun in the game. But it's so much fun to use. But yeah, for all the same reasons, I love this gun. I love the look of it. I love what they modeled it after. And Han Solo's personality, it fits very well.
I played it in Battlefront 2 for the PS2. And
as Han
PC.
Solo.
Yeah, you get Han Solo and it like kills anybody. And, like, you know, you shoot like a 3-round burst and it just kills anybody. And running around just, just clearing people. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a great gun. So I'm not gonna dive too deep on it, but DL44, in case you ever need to know in the future.
Alright, I'll try to remember that.
Yeah.
My number 4 is the X-Buster from Mega Man X. I've talked before about how much I love Mega Man X. So you have a hand cannon. I love how they're, in the new Marvel vs. Capcom, they're featuring Mega Man X and Sigma as the main Capcom representatives. And there's a scene where X is next to Rocket the Raccoon, and Rocket's like, so how many people have you killed with that? It's just a funny scene. But what makes this gun really cool, like I said, it's a hand cannon that you can shoot, you can shoot like a little burst, or you can charge it up for a more powerful shot. Or it gives you the ability to steal your enemy's attacks. That's the thing about Mega Man. Whenever you kill a boss, you take an attack from them. And then when you upgrade the X-Buster in Mega Man X1, you can charge their shots and get different effects. It's so cool. So what's more cool than a cannon on your hand?
That's fair.
So my number 4 is the X-Buster.
The X-Buster. I never knew the name for it.
This is called the Mega Buster.
That's the Mega Buster? Yeah. Okay, is that cooler than the X-Buster?
No. We're going to have to make a video about what's the difference between Mega Man and Mega Man X.
We'll get into that sometime. For the meantime, number 4, Darth Maul's lightsaber. I'm a big Star Wars fan. I always have been. And, of course, I watched the original trilogy first. And that consisted of blue and red, and then finished with adding a green lightsaber to it. And then you just, single one-handed lightsabers, which are great. But Darth Maul, when he came in The Phantom Menace with a 2-edged red lightsaber, that thing was awesome. And as a kid, my brother bought one and we played with it all the time. I remember when I played KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic, I modeled my character. I had a 2-edged purple lightsaber. I always loved the idea of the double-edged lightsaber and being able to handle it. Now, Ray Parker, the guy that played Darth Maul, if you ever get the chance, watch some videos of him going nuts with these things, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
This was such a cool staple. Like, I honestly think if you were to say what's the best thing about, the prequel trilogy, one of the best things about it, I think most people would say Darth Maul. I honestly think a lot of people would.
At least episode 1, yeah.
Well, definitely the best thing about episode 1 was Darth Maul.
Duel of Fates.
The Duel of Fates theme. Oh, it's beautiful. But he holds his own against the entire Star Wars universe. Like, Darth Maul goes down as one of the coolest guys ever to be a Sith Lord.
The lightsaber is an honorable mention from my list. It just barely missed the cut, and I was going to specifically mention Darth Maul's lightsaber. I played Jedi Academy, and you get a point in the game where you can choose to rebuild your lightsaber, and you can choose if you're going to go for staff lightsaber. And I did.
Yeah.
So
that's fantastic. That's my number 4 there.
My number 3, the Keyblade from Kingdom Hearts.
I also knew that one would be on your list. I had such a good feeling it would be.
This one's more nostalgic than anything, because it's, I don't know how to describe this. It's just because I played a lot of Kingdom Hearts as a kid. I really like the game. I like the weapon, the Keyblade. It's cool. It can unlock any door because it's a key.
I haven't played Kingdom Hearts.
You're missing out on such a good game.
I'm sorry.
A good series.
I failed you again.
It's okay. Anyway, I like how when you first get it, you're fighting these enemies that you can't touch, and then you get it, and then you just plow through them. It's such a big upgrade to the game, and then they go for a point where you lose it in the first game.
I bet that was pretty awful.
Yeah. Yep, and so you're kind of weak again. It's kind of fun. Anyway, just what Sora does with it too, and how he upgrades it, and you get different style Keyblades to match the worlds you're in, and then it's a very versatile. Like, it can shoot magic too. So I don't know. It's more. This is just a nostalgic thing for me. I love the Keyblade. I love the looks of it. It's a very good design. Fun fact though, when Square Enix originally pitched this idea to Disney, they wanted Sora to use a chainsaw.
What? Disney wanted it?
No. Square Enix. And then somebody said, well, this is going to be a game that kids are going to play, so maybe we should use chainsaws. And so the obviously the next logical step is the giant key.
Turn the chainsaw into a key. That's a good idea. Well, I mean, it worked.
It works, and I think it's better. I don't think the chainsaw would have been quite as iconic as a Keyblade.
As cool as it would have been, to be honest. Chainsaw's cool, but...
Anyway, so Kingdom Hearts is another game that I have on our to-do list for Let's Plays.
You got a big to-do list.
Yeah.
All right, number 3 for me, Narsil from Lord of the Rings. This was the sword that was reforged and wielded by Aragorn in the Lord of the Rings series.
Thought that might be on your list.
Yeah. Lord of the Rings had to have made it on my list. As far as when it comes to good weapons, Lord of the Rings is full of them. From Sting, Spider's Bane, to Narsil, of course, to Glamring, Troll's Bane, Gandalf's sword, which almost made my list as well.
Gandalf's staff,
absolutely. This thing is just chock full.
What was the sword that Floron used in The Hobbits? What was the sword called?
Oh my goodness.
It was Goblin Slayer was the name of it.
Yeah, I hate Goblin Slayer. I hate that I don't have the name.
Such a good design.
But there was a point when I did know all of these, but my obsession with Lord of the Rings has been kind of dwindling as they're kind of falling away and not really making anything new. But Narsil, of course, is the weapon. Besides the ring, Narsil is the most prominent weapon you think of when you think of Lord of the Rings. Mm-hmm. And Aragorn was always my favorite character. So, of course, him using the sword was my favorite part of this movie when they brought the sword to him, when they were at camp before going to fight the Army of the Dead. And then when the king of the Army of the Dead says, "No man can face me," or whatever, and then pulls the sword on Aragorn and he blocks it with Narsil. Oh, chills. Best part of that movie. So that's my number 3, Narsil.
My number 2 is the Master Sword.
The Master Sword. I could have predicted 4 now. Okay. I think I can predict 5 because I think I know what your number 1 is.
You're probably right on my number 1. It's kind of obvious if you know me.
Especially if you watched, a previous video.
Yep. So, the Master Sword. The Sword of Evil's Bane, as it's known.
Real quick here, just to save some time, my number 2 is the Master Sword as well.
All right.
So, we're going to talk about this together.
Good call.
I think that's fair.
All right, I'll just say the Master Sword. It's the Sword of Evil's Bane. I personally love the quest in the Wind Waker where you have to resharpen it. Essentially, you have to rebring it back because it's been sleeping, and it's because when I was playing Wind Waker for the first time, I saw the Master Sword and like the hilt was closed.
Yeah.
And, you had to. You haven't played Wind Waker, have you?
I have. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yes.
Just making sure. Okay, but yeah, you have to reopen that up, and you have to. It's just a really cool effect, and then
you have to open it. Then you have to get something else, and then it powers up.
Yeah.
I think it's 3 things you have to do, right?
It's 2 quests. You have 2 quests to repower the sword. Yeah.
Open it up and then power.
Because it's cool because you see Gan and I'll have to talk about Wind Waker sometime. But it's really cool because you try to slice Gan and he's just like he's just unfazed by it because it needs to be resharpened. But I think my favorite story of the Master Sword happens to be in Skyward Sword.
Oh, I was about to say that's my favorite too. You start with the Goddess Blade. I remember when I was first playing the game, and the hype was around the Goddess Sword. I was like, really? Like, as cool as it can be, but I was really hoping to see the Master Sword make a presence, and sure enough, it did.
Okay. Number 1.
Number 1.
It should be an easy guess for anybody who knows me. Green Lantern's Ring.
Green Lantern's Ring. Now, I already called this. I predicted this. So, I want to point out, I knew the Keyblade would be on your list. I knew Green Lantern's Ring would be on your list. I knew something from Mega Man and Ratchet and Clank would be on your list. I think I did pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I'm predictable.
That's fair.
Anyway.
That's fair. Green Lantern's Ring.
Yes. Why not have the weapon that will let you make any weapon you want?
That's a very good argument on why it's so cool.
I would say it's the most powerful weapon in the universe. Easily.
Actually, I hate to be this nitpicky, but the White Lantern Ring is actually the most powerful, which you have. The White Lantern Ring.
But to be fair, I love classic Green Lantern. More, I mentioned that before, like the Silver Age. I haven't kept up with the new stuff, so I barely know anything about Kyle Rayner.
Kyle Rayner.
And I don't know a lot about the Green Lantern Corps, or the Lantern Corps, so I know that I think it came from like a Blackest Night story, which I'd like to read, but I'm just going off of what I know.
We'll do a history lesson. I'm I feel like I'm pretty confident in the rings and all the colors. And
I know of them, but I haven't taken the time to research them. I like that. I do like how they removed the yellow weakness from the Green Lantern ring, because that was a really stupid weakness.
Mm-hmm.
Which, to be fair, a lot of superheroes have stupid weaknesses.
So, well, yeah, but anyway, you gotta do what you gotta do.
So, but I really don't think this needs too much of an explanation. Green Lantern's ring, my number one.
Number one. Well, also, kind of funny, my number one has to do with the color green.
It's like... Okay, go ahead.
It's Luke Skywalker's lightsaber.
Oh, okay.
It is Luke Skywalker's saber from Empire Strikes Back. Empire Strikes Back. Mm. A New Hope is the first one. His blue one.
No, it's Return of the Jedi.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Why did I say Empire Strikes Back?
Yeah, he loses his lightsaber in Empire Strikes
Back. That's the fifth movie.
Yeah.
In the sixth movie, Return of the Jedi, he forges his own lightsaber, which, for being a Jedi at that time, with how not experienced he was and how he really wasn't trained by that time. He's been training with Yoda, but the speed that he built his own lightsaber was ridiculous.
Isn't the time period between 5 and 6 like a year or two?
It's not long. It's not long at all. But
okay.
It's definitely enough time for them to devise a plan to get Han Solo out of Jabba's palace and everything. But there's actually a deleted scene.
Okay.
For Return of the Jedi, where it is him in a cave making his lightsaber and inserting the green kyber crystal.
I'm kind of glad they took that out, because the reveal for the lightsaber was great.
Oh, it's fantastic, yeah.
Luke Skywalker is getting ready to go into that pit, and is it a Ragnar pit or whatever?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Star
Wars fans are killing us right now. You know this. Anyway,
so
he's getting ready to. He's pretty ready to
Sarlacc
pit. Yeah. He's getting ready to jump to his death, and then he kind of nods to R2-D2, because at the time, last year, he lost his lightsaber. And then R2-D2 launches his lightsaber into the air, and Luke Skywalker jumps up and activates it, and it's just like, it's so good.
At this point, all you've seen is just blue and red. That's all you are familiar with. So no one knew that there'd be a different color lightsaber coming. No one knew that at all. So that when it was announced and shown, it was fantastic. And I have a replica of this lightsaber. I'll bring it in someday. But that's my number one. Not Green Lantern's ring. My number one is Luke Skywalker's green lightsaber.
Alright guys, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And also, please give us a share. That helps us out. And if you, we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, see you guys next week. Have a good weekend.